Scorpio, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of April. As we begin the month, we are in Aries season, and Aries is a cardinal fire sign that likes to make things happen and catalyze things. It's ruled by Mars, the planet of action. Mars also rules your sign of Scorpio in ancient astrology, but it's more equated with the fire cardinal energy that dominates the beginning of the month. So as we begin the month, the Sun, Venus, and Chiron, the wounded healer, are all transiting in Aries in your house of work and habits and daily routine. This is an excellent time for you to focus on how you can bring more light to your habits, focus on being healthier, and really get things going, because again, cardinal signs make things happen. On the 3rd of April, Mercury, which is the planet of learning and communication, also enters the cardinal fire sign of Aries, and it'll transit there until April 19th. So there's a lot of focus on your habits and your work in this new age of Aquarius. And that theme still for you, with Saturn and Jupiter transiting in Aquarius, is about restructuring your foundation, whether you have your own business or you're finding security in your home or you're dealing with family. There's much focus on that area of life. So finding better tools in your daily routine is excellent. On the 6th of April, Venus forms a helpful sextile to Mars, and Mars is the planet of action, also the ruler of Aries, as well as your sign in ancient astrology. Mars is transiting in Gemini in the beginning of the month, in your house of healing and joint resources, debt and taxes. Not surprising, because we're in tax season. So therefore, that's a helpful energy for finding creative projects. It's good for love, and it's good for financial opportunities, more importantly, with the focus in the 8th house. On the 9th of April, forms a helpful trine to the North Node in Destiny, North Node of Destiny. And the North Node is transiting in Gemini until January of 2022. And this enables you and helps you to heal in a very difficult time with the transit of the North Node in your house of healing, as well as bringing new financial opportunities to improve your finances, your debt, and your assets. With Saturn trining the North Node, this could bring fated encounters. This could bring helpful opportunities with home and family, and certainly with healing. Mercury and Chiron meet up in the sky. Chiron is the wounded healer. So this is an excellent day for targeting on rituals that'll enable you to heal, whether it's doing Reiki or meditation or yoga or something that helps you to confront the wounds. As a Scorpio, that is not something you shy away from. Later that day, Mars squares Neptune. That can be more challenging because Neptune can delay things or confuse things or thwart things. But pay attention to what comes up around that date, because that could bring helpful healers, helpful connections in your life, and perhaps work opportunities as well. On the 10th of April, Mercury forms a helpful sextile to Saturn, and that's excellent for business. It's excellent for dealing with real estate for you, and dealing with home and family, and for work opportunities. The two benefics of the zodiac, Venus and Jupiter, are also working in harmony. Excellent for doing creative projects and for work opportunities. On the 11th of April, there is a new moon that takes place at 10:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 22 degrees and 25 minutes of Aries. That's a big deal because that sets off the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that occurred on January 12th of last year. And that brought down many structures in our lives and changed the world permanently. Hopefully that new moon gives you insight as to how you can proceed further and move ahead in this new age of Aquarius. It's definitely an excellent time for initiating new things and new habits and new strategies in your work. Set intentions, do the law of abundance, but there will be volatility that day because Venus is going to square Pluto. And Venus is the planet of love and money, and it rules your house of relationships. And Pluto rules your sun sign. So there will likely be triangles, breakups, endings, or challenges in financial and work relationships. Still tap into the very potent energy of that cardinal new moon to make things go ahead. On the 13th of April, the sun in Aries forms a helpful sextile to Mars. And that's a good time for getting work done and focusing on healing habits. On the 14th of April, Venus enters the sign of Taurus, which is your opposite sign. And Venus will tour in Taurus until May 8th in your sector of relationships. This is excellent if you're single, for meeting somebody. This is excellent for partnering with other people. Great for professional opportunities. Good for feeling good because Venus loves being in Taurus. It's very prosperous and creative and sensuous and tactile. On the 16th of April, we have more challenging energy because the sun squares Pluto in the sky. And Pluto is the ruler of your sign. That could represent power struggles at work. Maybe there are things you need to purge. That would be positive given that the sun is transiting in your house of habits and routine. But lay low and just focus on your work if you're able. On the 17th of April, we have interesting aspects because Mars forms a beautiful trine to Jupiter. And those aspects, those planets together could bring good fortune. Mars is how we make things happen. And Jupiter is the grand benefic that represents good fortune and optimism. Mercury, which is the planet of communication, forms helpful aspects to both of those planets. And that's really nice energy. Good for, focusing on what you want to heal, what you want to achieve. But that day, later in the day, Mercury is going to square Pluto. There's a lot of Pluto energy in the month of Aries as well as cardinal energy. And Pluto is the cosmic compass that wants us to eliminate what isn't serving us. Also wants us to empower ourselves. That's excellent for digging deeply into projects that require a lot of research and getting to the bottom of things. Good for doing healing work, but likely there could be disagreements or power struggles. So just recognizing that part of it. On the 19th of April, both the Sun and Mercury enter the sign of Taurus in your house of relationships. And the latter part of April really focuses on partnering in any capacity, whether it's professionally, socially, networking, and definitely romantically. Obviously, in the age of Aquarius, which is so centered on connection and, forming community, networking is very emphasized anyway. But this month is really helpful for you for partnering with others. The sun will be transiting in Taurus until May 20th in this area of your chart. And Mercury, which is the planet of communication, will be there until May 3rd. So there's a lot of focus on relationships and partnering that part of April. So really, focusing on that. And on the 22nd of April, Venus and Uranus meet up in the sky. And I feel that could bring unexpected opportunities professionally, romantically. I know with Uranus, expect the unexpected, but the moon in Virgo is making nice aspects that date. And I think there could be a very creative and innovative energy, and just, see what happens. On the 23rd of April, Mars enters the sign of Cancer and enters your house of learning and promotion and travel and manifesting and hope. And it enters the sign of Cancer, which is a cardinal water sign, and it'll be transiting there until June 12th. This is a fellow water sign, very compatible with yours, excellent for really tapping in to what you want to manifest. If you want to promote yourself, if you want to learn something new, excellent energy to tap into something optimistic. On April 24th, Mercury meets up with Uranus, and that could bring unexpected news, which likely will be a little more chaotic, because on the following day, Venus, which is transiting in your house of relationships, squares Saturn in Aquarius. And Saturn is at the bottom of your chart in your house of home and security. It could be issues with family, or just, challenges with partnerships. And maybe it's blocks to your creativity as well. On the 26th of April, there is a full moon that takes place in your sign, and it occurs at 11:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 7 degrees and 6 minutes of Scorpio. That falls in your first house. That's your annual full moon, and it's going to be a really intense one, because the day before Pluto stations retrograde. We're all going to feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. And Pluto is the planet of power and death and rebirth and joint resources. It definitely could bring major beginnings, but more likely major endings. Very emotional energy at the end of the month because of that full moon in your sign, with heavy Pluto energy dominating the cosmos. Figure out what you want to let go of and what you want to release. On the 29th of April, Mercury forms a helpful energy, helpful sextile to Neptune, and that can be very creative energy. And on the 30th, the Sun meets up with Uranus in Taurus. That could bring unexpected romantic opportunities. It's in your house of relationships. Expect the unexpected. Could be a bit chaotic. April is going to be a very busy month. Pluto does station retrograde at the end of the month, and that is the ruler of your sign, but a lot of focus around your habits and around relationships. So I wish you a lot of luck. Take care, Scorpio.